Well, hello everyone. My name is Lynette Stevens, and I have an idea that I want to share with you guys tonight that I hope will inspire you to get creative and to create a cozy home. If you guys would, if you enjoy this video, whether you're watching live now or catching me on the replay, if you would sprinkle my video and tell your family and friends about it, I would really appreciate that. Hi, Clarice. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you with me, my dear. First thing I want to do is I kind of gave it away in the title of the live. We're going to be using the little $1 red vintage truck that I picked up at Dollar Tree this week to make a wreath. So since we're into red trucks tonight, I thought that I would do a little giveaway and give this cute little red truck that's the fall truck, also from Dollar Tree. I thought I would give this away tonight to one of you because these have become a rare commodity. I know lots of you have been asking me if you can still get them, and they're hard to find because Dollar Tree's pretty much done stocking the fall, it looks like, and they're moving on to Christmas. So I have picked someone that has shared my video recently, and the winner is Barbara Allen Lee. So Miss Barbara, if you would get me your mailing address, I will get this in the mail to you. So you can either give it to me just here in the comments if you catch this live, or in a private message, and I'll be contacting you too to make sure that you know you're the winner of this super cute little red fall truck. So I'll get that in the mail to you on Monday. So there's that. Hi, Kim and Debbie, Donna, Terry. Thank you, gals, for joining me. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, we're going to be using 2 different size wreaths to make our little red truck wreath tonight. At Dollar Tree right now, they have an 18-inch little greenery wreath and a 15-inch, $1 a piece, okay? And I'll be honest with you, kind of by themselves, they're not real full. So what I thought we would do is take these and use some simple little zip ties and tie these together so that we can come up with a base wreath that's a little bit bigger and maybe a little fuller to do our wreath on. So I think you guys are going to enjoy this one because I think it's going to be super easy and obviously pretty cheap, because with the exception of the ribbon, everything else that I'm using I picked up at Dollar Tree. So this is going to be a really cheap and super easy wreath for you to make if you like it. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do, one thing I did notice about these wreaths is that when I looked at the 2 sides, there's one side that I can really see the silver wire on a little more prominently. So I'm gonna put that one face down on both of these. You guys, I appreciate you all. If you would tell your friends right now about my video, kind of sprinkle it onto your page so that we can even get more people joining us, I would really appreciate that. So thank you for doing that for me. So what I did is I looked at mine, and where you could see the silver wire, that's kind of the form of the wreath, I'm putting that side down, okay? So you can just duplicate and do that exact same thing. And then I'm just gonna lay my smaller wreath inside the larger one, and I'm just gonna let it sit there for a minute. And then I'm gonna take my zip ties, all right? And I'm gonna pull back a couple of the stems of our wreath and get them back out of the way so that I can zip tie and hide my zip ties. So I am putting the fastener part of my zip tie towards the back so that after we're finished with the zip tie and I cut the tail off, that fastener part will be at the back side of our wreath. And I'm gonna tell you another thing I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna tighten the zip tie all the way down just yet. I'm just gonna let it sit there, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because if I zip tie this really tight to any one part of our wreath, it could make the wreath look off. It could form almost an oblong or make it look a little strange. I wanna make sure that I can get my smaller wreath centered inside the larger one as best I can. And the best way to do that is to just get the zip ties ready, but not pull them tight yet, okay? So now I'm just gonna, I'm thinking that 3 zip ties are gonna be all we need. So I'm just doing the same thing again. I'm just moving the pieces of the greenery out of the way. And the reason I'm doing that, you guys, is so that I can hide these zip ties, all right? So I'm trying to make sure, because I don't want one of my stem parts of the wreath to be caught underneath the zip tie, because it's gonna make it a little more difficult for me to hide it if I do that. All right, and you saw on that second one, I didn't fasten it. So I just kind of got it there so that I can see kind of my spacing and how tightly I need to pull my zip ties, okay? But guys, I think when I get finished with this, for a $2 greenery wreath, I think we're all gonna be pretty happy with it. I think it's gonna be super cute. And just by doing the 18 and the 15-inch together, I think we can create a pretty good looking wreath here for the base. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna hold it up so you guys can see. I'm gonna put my fingers through here so you can see. See the spacing in between the 2 wire forms? I am just looking at that and making sure that I kind of keep that even all the way around, okay? So that we don't get some sort of weird shape going on our wreath. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to start zip tying a little tighter here as I go, kind of at the same time, if you will, just so I can keep that spacing the same. And if you're doing this and not having to watch me, I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can tell, you can see the spacing pretty good between them. So this is not gonna be a hard process by any means. So I'm just kind of evenly going around and tightening down my zip tie, all right? And listen, I'm not going to make sure that they're zip tied super tight for the same reason I told you at the beginning, because we don't want to create an odd shape. So once I know that I feel they're secure, and you'll be able to feel that. Like I can tell right now, these guys are secure, and I can tell I've secured my shape, and that's really all I'm after. So once it feels good, you can stop there. So, oh, Sadie, you're so sweet. I love you too, baby girl. You guys, so one of my best friends, who's more like a sister to me, has her sweet little granddaughter tonight, and they're watching, and Sadie is telling her sweet Graham to tell me that she loves me. Isn't that the sweetest? And Sadie's got a birthday coming up soon, so she's gonna be celebrating her birthday a little bit later this month. So Sadie, thank you so much for watching me, sweet girl. You are an angel, so sweet. Okay, all right, and you guys, I'm sitting there talking to Sadie and forgot to tell you guys, all I'm doing, I just took wire cutters and I cut the tails off of my zip ties, okay? So that they don't get, so they're not sticking out. Now the next thing you're gonna do is you're just gonna fluff your wreath up. So I'm just gonna start picking up all the little stem pieces off of the greenery so that we can make our wreath look as full as we can, and literally almost just like what you do, it's the exact same thing you're gonna do if you buy a wreath, like one of the bigger wreaths like this, you know, from Walmart, Hobby Lobby, or your Christmas tree, your artificial trees. Same process that we're doing right here. All right, so we're just going to open this up so it looks nice and full. And that is literally what we're trying to do at this point. It's just to get it as full as we can so that it looks nice. And try to make it look uniform all the way around it, okay? So we're just picking up, and you can use these stem pieces to cover up, you can use that to cover up the zip ties too. So, and you notice I used black zip ties. If I had green ones, that would probably be even better if they were the exact same color. But I can tell you right now, you're not gonna notice the black ones. So if you just use black ones, and guys, you can pick those up at Dollar Tree as well. They're a great place to buy things like zip ties. So you can just pick your zip ties up when you go to get everything that you need to make your wreath, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna hold my wreath up here and take a look and move things around, and it'll be very obvious where you need to move things because there'll be bare spots. So I'm just gonna get that moved, okay? All right, I think I'm happy with the shape for now. So the next thing we're gonna do is get our truck attached. And what I think I am going to do is I decided I'm gonna leave this rope that's already attached to it. I'm gonna leave that on. And Beth, let's see, dear, what are you asking when I put my tree up? Beth, it's funny that you asked that because I normally don't put our tree up until the weekend after Thanksgiving. That's what I've done forever and ever, forever. But this year I'm thinking about putting it up early just so I can give you guys some tips and tricks and some things, maybe some ideas. So I may be decorating my house for Christmas, like here in a couple of weeks, and that feels really weird to me. Don't know what my kids or grandkids are gonna think when they show up here for Thanksgiving, because it's always been decorated for fall when they come. So it might be a little bit of a shock to everybody when they walk in and see that Christmas has happened. But I just feel like to be able to better help you guys, I kind of need to go ahead and get on that so that I can give you guys ideas and maybe do a Christmas walkthrough like I did for fall. So anyway, I realize that's kind of a long answer, but yeah, Beth, that's been ours too. So, but I think I'm gonna have to change it up this year, girl, because I really want to be able to help you guys. And in order to do that, probably need to have some examples of some things to share with you. All right, guys, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn it around for a minute just so you can see. I'm just gonna put my truck kind of in the center part of the wreath, all right? And I'm just gonna take the rope part and I'm just going up here to one of these little branch pieces, stem pieces, and attaching it there. And then I also decided that I'm gonna make sure I like where it is first. I'm gonna put a little bit of hot glue behind my truck and glue it down. You know, I think I've got it a little bit higher than what I was wanting. So I'm gonna move it down just a tad. All right, now I think I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna put a little bit of hot glue on our truck. And listen, if this was a heavier duty truck, if you bought one of the thicker wood trucks that I know are available out there, you're probably better off to take wire and a staple gun and just cut you a little length of wire, staple it to the back of your truck in maybe 2 places so that you can use that to wire on your wreath. But this truck is super lightweight, so I know hot glue is going to hold it just fine. So that's what I'm going to do, okay? I'm just going to throw some hot glue on here and go with it. So, and you want to be kind of careful about where you put your glue so that you don't end up having glue in a spot on your wreath where your truck's not going to be. So just be careful when you're doing that. Let's see, what is my friend Terry saying? Yes, Terry, that's another good point. Thanksgiving is late this year. So that's another thing to take into consideration. I've seen lots of people on Facebook mentioning that. It's like they're going to decorate for Christmas before Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving comes so late. So thanks, you just gave me another excuse to do it a little bit early. So anyway, all right, guys. Let's see here. All right, now I'm gonna show you guys, I've had lots of you asking for a simple way to make a bow. And you guys know I like doing my little, I don't know what you wanna call it, messy bow. That's super easy. If you follow my page for a while, you've seen me make it. Get some of this junk out of our way. You've seen me make it where I just take the lengths of ribbon and kind of crisscross them on top of each other and then tie that off in the center. And that's what I do 95% of the time, even here when I'm doing stuff not live, just for me or to sell. But today I am going to show you guys a different way to do a little bit more of a traditional looking bow that's kind of full. So we're going to work on that and be 100% transparent with you guys. I think the last time I made this exact bow, it was probably during a Christmas wreath class last December. So it's been almost a year since I've made one of these. So if I have to try a couple of different times to get it right, I guess you guys have permission to laugh at me because we may be having to do this a couple of times. But here's the number one tip I will give you. When you're gonna make a bow for something like a wreath, you don't wanna make a bow and then have it too small for the wreath. You don't wanna make a bow and have it too large for the wreath. So what I like to do to try to prevent that is I make a loop, okay? Something that I think maybe, just maybe, is about the size I might want. And then I hold it up and I look at it. And guess what? I do like that. So that's the best thing for you to do is actually hold it up against the wreath or the sign or door hanger, whatever you're making your bow for. Just look and see if your first loop is kind of something you had in mind for size, okay? So I do like that. I'm gonna unfold it just a minute so I can show you guys. Hi, Donna, thank you for joining me, dear. So what you do is you just make your first loop, okay? And I let this tail part is gonna be kind of about as long as what I think the bow is, and I'm gonna show you. So see how the tail part, let me see if you can see this. The tail is kind of, you see it in there? It's just all the way to the end of what our loop that we made. All right, so you start there and then just take your ribbon. And by the way, if you guys like my ribbon, I decided to just use this black and white gingham print ribbon. And I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. I think it was $3.99 for, because you guys always ask me, it's 15 feet for $3.99, but I got it half price, so $2. So if you like this and want to get some, go to Hobby Lobby. That's where I got it. And I honestly think Walmart, I think I've seen the gingham print at Walmart too. So if it's easier or more convenient for you, you can pick yours up at Walmart. Now, Dollar General and Dollar Tree both have some super cute choices this year for Christmas ribbon, but I don't remember seeing any black and white at either of those places. So, and I need to clarify, if you pick it up at Walmart, because I looked today on the aisle where they have all their Christmas gift wrap and ribbon, and I didn't see any kind of a black and white check, not buffalo check, not gingham. So you'll have to go to the fabric department craft area, and that's where you'll find this type of ribbon if you're going to get it at Walmart, okay? All right, guys, so then you see I'm just wrapping back over, just wrapping over my loops that I've already made, all right? And then when I think I'm done, here's what I do. I look back in the inside and figure out where did I start, and you guys see that? So I know I started on this end, so I wanna cut my tail for this side on the opposite side so that when I tie my bow off and start to pull it out and fluff it, that we've got kind of a tail on each side. So super easy to do. All you've got to do is just cut your tail on this side this time, all right? And I cut it about just to the end of my loops, all right? Because we know on the inside, that's kind of where that one was. All right, and then I am going to, first off, I'm just using a little thin piece of ribbon, and I'm gonna find the center of my loops, all right? I'm gonna find the center and kind of pinch the center just to help me know where it is, and then take your thinner ribbon and just tie it right around the center of your loops, okay? And once you get to this point, you can do exactly what you see me doing. Just turn your stack of loops upside down and hold it with your fingers. And then it would help if you go ahead and make a bow with this small ribbon. So I missed it. Hang on, guys, hang on. All right, here we go, now we got it. So then I'm just gonna tie that and pull that tight, okay? So make sure I've got it in the center. And before I tie it off, I'm just gonna check to make sure, because I think I'm a hair off, because you really do want it as close to the center as you can so that your loops on your bow are uniform. And that is good there. So now I'm just gonna tie one more time so that I can tie it off tight, okay? All right, and if you guys are asking questions and I've missed them, I'll go back and get those answered for you later tonight. So, hi Junanne, I'm so glad you could join me, dear. Thank you. All right, so let's see here. Girls, let's make sure. I think that's good right there. All right, I'm gonna tie one more time just to make sure we got it good and tight. And then honestly for this bow, it usually looks better if you go ahead and tie off one more section. So I just cut a little piece of it, didn't measure it. You guys know I'm not about measuring things, but I'm just gonna turn that upside down one more time and I'm gonna do this, all right? And that's just to give kind of a finished looking center on my bow, all right? So then I'm gonna tie that, and I'm not pulling this one super tight because I kind of like the little fullness look of just leaving the ribbon like that. So because if I pulled it super tight, then the piece that I just wrapped around it would get super skinny and you'd kind of lose it. And I like it to be a little wider, okay? That's why I used this guy, the little skinny guy that's now hidden, to do my super tight tying on my bow, all right? So now what you do is you go into the center part of your loops, all right? And you just start pulling those guys apart. And I'll be honest with you guys, if you use ribbon that has wired edges, the bow ends up looking 10 times cuter because it holds its shape better. And my black and white ribbon that I decided to use a little while ago doesn't have wired edges. So if you use wired edges, it will look a little bit better, but it still turns out cute. So it'll work. And you guys see what I'm doing? Just pulling your loops apart at that point, and there's no right or wrong way. It doesn't matter how you pull them. There's no right or wrong way. You just pull these guys apart and, you know, pull them around. And like I said, if you've got wire in here, that does work a whole lot better, okay? All right, so we just want to keep, and honestly with this one, because it's not wanting to hold its shape, because there's no wire in it, I am probably going to go ahead and put it on our wreath, and then I will pull my loops apart again. That's probably going to work best for this. Okay, and I forgot, I'm going to cut a little bit of a diagonal on this one end so that it looks uniform to the other side. Okay, so there you go. That's how you can make a bow that is fuller, and it's super easy. All right, so then we're just going to come up here and tie it on. And honestly guys, if you leave your skinny ribbon long enough like I did, you can actually use this the skinny ribbon pieces to tie it onto your wreath. You could also, I could have just as easily taken a zip tie and just ran it through, you know, the back of my wreath if I wanted. Let me show you guys. And, you know, attach it that way. But because I've got these ribbon tails, I'm just going to use those to put them on my wreath. So we're just going to hold it up, kind of figure out here where we want our bow. Okay, get this going here. Okay, and I'm just going to tie it onto the back so that you won't see the tie. All right, and this you do want to pull pretty tight, especially if this is going to go outdoors in a windy state like Oklahoma, where our Oklahoma wind has a tendency to want to you know, tear up things like this or blow the ribbon and bows off of wreaths. You want to make sure that you get that guy tied on pretty securely. And then I'll probably still put just a little bit of hot glue behind it just to make sure that it stays. But then you see what I'm doing, guys? Can y'all see that? Yeah, let me make sure it's in the camera frame. Just separate all of your loops at that point. And like I said, if you do wired ribbon, you will be much happier because this is a little more difficult in getting it to keep its shape, all right? So let me turn it around where you guys can see it and see. I can play with this some more too, even after the live, because really when you get to this point, it's almost better to hang it up, because then you can tell, and I'm having to look, you know, in a camera to see how it needs to be, but pretty darn simple and super cheap. So we've got $2 in the greenery part of our wreath. We've got $1 in our little red truck. And then I don't even know if that's $1's worth of ribbon. Maybe I used half of that. So $1 for your ribbon. So for a $5 wreath and a couple of zip ties, pretty cheap. So hi Debbie, I'm so glad you could join me. And Nettie, Kim, thank you. Cheryl, thank you so much. I also wanted to tell you guys that I don't need another wreath at my house because we are wreath poor around here. So I would absolutely love to send this wreath to one of you. So if you will tell your friends about my video, tell them about my video, and just let me know in the comments that you told your friends or invited your friends to watch this video, then I'm gonna pick one of you and put this truck in the mail to you on Monday. So I will probably wait. I'll pick a winner tomorrow night. So just let me know that you've told your friends about the video, and somebody will be getting this cute little red truck wreath in the mail next week. The reason I want to go ahead and do this tonight, I know I told you guys I still owe you another fall craft idea, but I wanted to do this one because I know so many of you are into these red trucks, and I'm afraid that the same thing's going to happen at Dollar Tree that happened with the fall decor. When I used my cute little metal fall words, and then all of you were trying to find them and couldn't. I don't want that to happen again. So I thought if I make this tonight so that you guys can see how cute it turns out, then you can go ahead and go get everything you need before your Dollar Tree sells out of all these cute items. Because I have noticed that on the seasonal things, most of the time when they're gone, they're gone. So if this is something you're interested in, go pick yourself up, especially the little red truck. They probably will have the wreaths for a while, but the red truck I'm a little worried about. So if you guys like it, get to your Dollar Tree and get yours. So Clarice, thank you so much, my sweet friend. Hi Jan and Janet, thank you girls so much. Terry, thank you. You guys are so good to me and I appreciate it so much. I will go ahead and tell you guys right now, in case you missed my post, was it yesterday I posted about it? I think my days are all running together, guys. I think it was yesterday. I shared with you guys the great things I have found at both Dollar Tree and at Dollar General. There's some super cute stuff that I have found. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing lots of lives with you guys. Lots of lives. Because I have found so many cute Christmas things that I want to do. You guys might get tired of looking at me. I don't know. But I found some super cute stuff and just crazy cheap prices. So I shared those with you. So if you missed that post yesterday, then you need to go back and look at that post. Look for it. Because scan through those pictures that I posted. And if there's anything at all that jumps out at you, maybe it's the colors that you want to do this Christmas. Maybe it's just your style, like the red trucks. Look through there, and anything at all that jumps out at you, go to Dollar General or Dollar Tree and get those items now. So that when I make the live and then you want to reproduce that item, you're not upset if you can't find them. So take a few minutes tonight, go back, look for those posts from yesterday, and run and get the things that you know that you would be interested in. And I'm going to give you guys another clue. I gave a clue yesterday when I posted it. If you like the cute little wreaths that have elf legs and an elf hat, and I'm going to stop right there. If you're into those, I know you've probably seen them on Pinterest or other Facebook pages. If you like those and you think they're cute, run and get your stuff, because I can tell you Those are the type of things that Dollar General and Dollar Tree are going to sell out of because they're super popular right now. So go get those. If you think you might want a wreath with the cute little Santa elf legs and the Santa elf hat, go get those things now. So that you don't kick yourself after I make it and then you can't find it. So, and there's several things like that. I've got some little glitter deer heads, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a hint on that one too. We're going to be making what looks like little miniature deer mounts for ornaments for our tree. So if you're into glitter or deer heads, go buy the pack of those. I want to say they were $1.50 for 3 at Dollar General. I think that's what I paid, but you guys can see the prices on that stuff. I tried to lay everything out so that you could see how much it cost. And just for the record, the elf legs and the elf hat, I think they were $3 a piece. So $6 there, and then we're going to be using a $1 wreath form from Dollar Tree to complete our elf wreath. So just a few tips there, because I don't want you guys, you know, it's going to take me a while to get through all of it, is what I'm telling you. So if it takes me a couple weeks, 2 or 3, to get to the elf parts or the glitter deer head, I don't want Dollar Tree or Dollar General to be sold out of those, and then you guys struggle trying to find everything. So go make your purchases now, because we're gonna have a lot of fun. Even the tissue paper. Look at the tissue paper that I posted, because we're gonna be doing lots of different things with the tissue paper, and I think I'll pick those up at Dollar General. So if you like any of those tissue papers that you see posted, go get yours, because several of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, we're going to be using those. So I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all so much for being so good to me. Hi, Peggy. Thank you so much for joining me. So I appreciate you guys, and you're going to be seeing a lot of me for the next few weeks, because as you saw, I have lots and lots of cool things that I found. So I'm excited to share those with you. So I appreciate you guys for being here tonight. And don't forget, especially even if you're watching me on the replay, you have until tomorrow night. I'll probably draw a winner around 8 p.m. tomorrow night to see who's going to get this cute little wreath sent in the mail to them the first part of the week. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being good to me. And I will be back with you here in a few days. So thanks, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.